Alright. I think we're live. Doesn't look like we are. Oh no, there we go. We got it. Alright, let me arrange this so that it looks decent. Oh look, there I am. Post ad me. Christopher like saying, where is Ewan? Ewan missed a part of his normal setup that I thought I'd pulled up and then it wasn't there, so I had to re-pull it up. But here we go. Welcome in, everybody. It is Sunday, which means it's GeoGuessr time. We are 30 countries deep. Last week, I believe we started at 32. We don't need to dwell on that, though. You might be asking, how do you go backwards? You just got to be so incredibly bad at GeoGuessr that you go backwards. But, nevertheless, we're back. I think we're in Costa Rica right now, just from the looks of things. Just the vibes. How can I prove that we're in Costa Rica? Well, first of all, we have some... I can't prove if that's... It's preferential seating. To be fair, I don't know if that's Portuguese. Christopher likes saying it's bad. We needed a bridge that went backwards. Yeah, sometimes you got to take a step backward to take 2 steps forward. Okay, here we go. That's Spanish. Nope, that's Portuguese. Sick. Of course it is. And then these are not European. Yeah, these are. I want to say CONMEBOL. It's not CONMEBOL. What am I thinking of? Mercosur plates. These are Mercosur plates. So this is Brazil. This is Pare. I hate. It freaks me out how similar these languages are. These are Brazil. This is Brazil, though. So yep, there we go. Brasilia. W Dig saying what's up. We're so back. We are indeed so back. W Dig, welcome in. We are now in what? Oh, that's. This feels Central Europe. Okay, I'm saying this is Austria. There are the sirens. Can you hear the sirens already? Took 3 whole minutes. Oh, W Dick's saying Sweden here. I can see that. That makes sense. Yes, okay. I see what you're saying. Yep. Can back that. Sweden, love it. On to the next round. You're saying, oh, street is street in Swedish. Isn't that perfect? We love that. And then, wow. Okay, that changed drastically. Funeraria. Right-hand side, entrada. Okay, so thankfully this is Portuguese. This is Portuguese. Saída instead of salida. Don't know why that is orange, though. That doesn't make much sense to me. Yeah, Christopher likes saying Stockholm. I think that might have been Malmo, but I don't think I was paying attention either. So let's go into this town. It's very bizarre how different the coverage is. It's crazy how much... I can't tell if it's the same location or not, even. Just... Ugh. That was fun. I've been a little sick this week. So that's what that was right there. Also Portuguese. We should be good with Portugal. I mean, not Portugal, Brazil here. So let's find someone with the correct plate. Yeah, W's Dig saying no, not the sickness. Yeah, the sickness got me. I was sick a couple weeks ago too for like a day or two. And they got me again this week. So I've got, in my water, I've got emergency now. Went through a whole box of emergency. There was no dosage instructions on there, so I really don't know if I was supposed to do that. Also Portuguese. We're good. Christopher likes saying funny how there's a hearse following a Google car. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear. I can kind of hear my voice sounds raspier. My throat was dying. Like Wednesday, Thursday, my throat was insane. I was like, it was miserable. And I just feel weird when I wake up. You know when you're sick and you wake up and you just feel like death? But then once you showered and eaten, you're like, okay, I'm a human again. It was that. Yeah, exactly, W. Dick. Worst feeling in the world when you wake up with a scratchy throat. And it's, what sucks is these are the Uruguay. These are Uruguayan highway signs. See right here, 5-3-23, 7-48. We're on this road, going towards Sauce. I don't see Sauce anywhere, but we don't really need to find it. We've been to 33 before. Where's Sauce? Nope, that's Brazil. But I think we're good. Yeah, Sauce, Uruguay. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, no, it's really unfortunate because I'm finally, and I feel like I said this last week too, I am the healthiest I've been in, what day is it? April 26th, in 23 months right now. So I've been hitting the gym like crazy, just getting back to normal. Priority de droit. I'm not going to say that. This is French. Christopher likes saying A8 steak sauce. It did say like A something steak sauce. I thought it was a 2. That was funny. W. Dick saying, yeah, wait, sign at the start. We got Beffe. Saying could be Belgium. I can't tell if that plate's red or not. Leaving Beffe. So let's go into Beffe. Yeah, that looks red. That looks not red. Keep going. But it's so I'm like, I'm so healthy, so I'm going to be very active. Like, this is the most active I've been able to be in almost 2 years now. And I was finally getting into that rhythm like 3 weeks into that. And then, of course, I get sick, and I was like, of course this happened. I knew this was going to happen. Right as I get to the point that I establish the habit. That looks red. Are we going to be able to read that? No. Not going to be able to read that. I think that says .be right there. We don't have Cats, our main sign reader, with us today. I don't know if I shook this. Okay, yep. .be. Cool. Yeah, I believe we're missing Cats. We're going to miss So Tired. We got a skeleton crew today. Well, my voice really does sound raspy. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can. You know how you're like a lot more cognizant of your own voice? To me, I'm just like, wow, it sounds bad. I was going through a pack of, what are those? What am I always eating on stream? Cough drops. I went through Northampton. This is the United Kingdom. Any objections to that? Come on, there we go. Rugby. A428. Is that a town, do we think? Let's read this sign. Yeah, Northampton, Harleston, the Bringtons, East Haddon. Alright, let's run UK. Sammy Marco saying big ups. Big ups, Sammy Marco. Welcome in. Hope you had a great week. This is looking... Is that Tohap or... Nope. So that's in Cyrillic there, which you wouldn't notice if it weren't then spelled in Latin here. this TOHAP in Cyrillic is tonar. That's crazy. So, I think this is Russia. We've got, yep, white plate. Stepanovka. I don't know where that is. Is there any sort of other thing on the... That person's shirt says Russia. I feel like this is Russia. Sammy Marco saying, "'Tis Sunday evening once again." It is indeed Sunday evening once again, Sammy Marco. You are very correct in that. I feel really safe doing Russia here. Dorojalnia? Laboratory. I can feel my chest hurting. I had like 30 Diet Cokes today. The caffeine's starting to hurt. I had like a coffee. Oh, wait, we should look at that taxi. I had a coffee, some of a Red Bull, and then 2 Diet Cokes, I think. So maybe not that bad. 30. No, I didn't actually have 30 Diet Cokes. Imagine how expensive that would be. All right, well, we've lost that car. All right. Any objections to Russia? I'm pretty confident here. Yeah, I'm still seeing nothing on the plates, which is an indicator that we're in Russia. P. What is P? I think P. Plot? No, that's German. That was... Oh, R. I forget P is R. Karmalatka. I definitely been told what that is. We're kind of like on the addresses unit right now in Russian. And so we've been taught this, but I don't think I'm allowed to grab my textbook right now. So I'm gonna go with this being Russia. Yeah, WDig saying giving Russia. Let's do it. Yep. It is in fact giving Russia. Ooh. Let's go back and look at these signs. Oh, brilliant. Of course. This one up here is bigger. Okay. Owenton and Glencoe, 1 mile. This is the United States. Cincinnati, I-75. What way are we facing? Northeast. So we are on I-75. We got Verona. We're like right here-ish. WDig saying Ohio. I think we're in Kentucky. Yep. Oh, I was a little off. We were on 71. And now we're not in Kentucky. Ooh, Christopher likes saying, got another notification from the LA 28 ticket office that I'll be entered into the next round. Palermo, Bergio, Santa Ana. Oh, this is Italy. Napoleon, Kentucky. I didn't even catch that. Be entered into the next round of ticket drops. Ticket prices, while somewhat high, it's fairly reasonable. What's somewhat high? Italy, because Italian flag, EU flag. It's Italy. Oh, Sammy Marco saying my roommate was looking to get LA tickets, and he said they were over $1,000 and were all scooped up on the first day. That's insane. It's just not fun having it here. It's just lame. I can never tell Thai from Cambodian, so I'm going to go look at what side of where the steering wheel is in this truck. Steering wheel's on the left side. This is Thailand. Sometimes it really is just that easy. W Dick saying, wait, shout out Sicily. Yeah, W Dick, how was the Sicily trip? I saw you were at, what was that, like Pollo? What was the place you put in the Discord? Main seats for some events like handball and archery are around $500. That's insane. I remember going to around, okay, some tickets are around 200. That's just ridiculous. I feel like it's not been like that in the past. It's just because they're in such a rich country, they know they can price gouge. It's insane. WD saying, yeah, just some random Pollo spot. I needed to grab a pic. Is Pollo the same in Italian? Why is the keyboard not? There we go. Spanish to Italian. You ever feel like I feel like an international genius anytime I do like language to language, and one of them is in English. Yeah, okay, it's the same. How many languages use pollo for chicken? Spanish and Italian. Okay. Yeah, poulet frango in Portuguese. I didn't know that. It's definitely not said the way I said it. Frango. Exactly, Sammy Marco. Spanish to Italian, Mr. Worldwide. Senor Mundo. Yeah, Sammy Marco saying IOC and FIFA are scummy organizations. That's what you're gonna get. Let's do Thailand here. Anyone object? Okay, trip was awesome. It was laid back, but also chaotic at the same time. Would definitely recommend as an underrated Italian trip. I feel like Sicily is such a, pardon me, like popular spot though. Is it really? I feel like people talk about it. I feel like it's a normal place to go rather than underrated. All right, let's do Thailand. Love it. W Dig saying, still gotta post my pics though. I always wait too long. I'm excited to see those come out. This is the United Kingdom. White front plate, yellow back plate. It's that simple. Pollo is Huhn in German. Interesting, I didn't know that. And Sammy Marco asking if you only went to Sicily. Let's do the United Kingdom. That's, I guess, kind of on the subject. I knew it would end up being Scotland. I've been on this exact road. I have literally been right here. Yeah, what direction are we facing? I have ridden right there. That's crazy. Right? Yeah, I left North Barrack and I went this way. Yeah, because I rode this road. Did I ride that road down? Or whatever. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Doesn't matter. Yeah, Tafidik's saying out the IRL experience. I am very confident that I've been right there on my bicycle. This is gonna be... Oh, our roads. That's helpful. I know there's things I have to look at in the chat, but I've also got to read that. Yeah, our roads. That looks Afrikaans. Our roads are South African. Any objections to South Africa here? But yeah, WD saying Sicily for 3 days, Naples for 4, including Pompeii, which was surreal. Pompeii is fantastic. That was a really cool experience going there. Sammy Marco saying, yeah, cool Italy trip. It's, unfortunately, I spoke to my friend who I'm going with, Yo, Rafael Mello hopping in the chat. Since it's been a while, my friend. Good to see you in the chat, Rafael Mello. Welcome in. WD saying Freezite would appreciate that I took a mafia tour in Sicily, too. That's sick. What did that entail? I did one of those in New York once, and it was cool. Alright, well, this is Greece. Wait, no, we're on the left-hand side. Wait, or am I bugging? Let me look at a car. Yeah. Sammy Marco saying no free Zeit and Cats feels wrong. I know. Cats is away for a few weeks. Il Tired's also away. No free Zeit yet. It's crazy. Yo! Rafael Mello saying, met a guy from Florida last week who did the prison cocaine tour in Bolivia. There's a prison cocaine tour in Bolivia? Yep, steering wheel's on the wrong side. This is Cyprus. Oh, okay. Lefkosia is Nicosia. That's helpful. Love it. But I was talking to my friend. I don't know, probably... basically, we were talking about Tanzania, and we agreed to postpone because I don't think my foot's gonna... We were gonna go in like 5 weeks, and my foot, producty, so like a bodega. Rafael Mello saying this crazy. WDX saying Mafia Tour was just a walking tour with themed stories and history. Pretty cool, honestly. Okay. Yeah, that's very similar to what I did here then. Oh, this says best beer in Ukraine. Just saying. Or number 1 beer in Ukraine. Yeah. WDX saying Ukraine on beer sign. Yup. Alright. I love being able to read that. That's so sick. Alright. Oh, okay. It's illegal. The cocaine prison tour is illegal. That's unfortunate. I kind of want to do that. That sounds fun. Well, I don't actually understand what it entails. Conceptually, that sounds fun. If they're putting me in prison and making me doing cocaine, I don't think that's probably not what I want to do on my trip to Bolivia. But, yeah, so this is Croatia. Any objections? Yeah, soccer meta, Croatia. Let's do it. But yeah, we're going to postpone Tanzania because we literally listed 4 reasons. My foot, his PTO. What are the other reasons? I think 2 of them combined. Oh, it was getting more and more expensive. That was what it was because of the war. And then the 4th one was the war and how Europe is supposed to run out of jet fuel. Like, we could book the flights and they just get canceled. So we're just like, and my foot and his 1,000 things happening. So we're like, let's just go another time. This is Singapore. This is the Singapore font. Yeah, Rafael Mello saying exactly my thoughts. I did envy him, though I would never do it. Yeah, it's like, oh man, that's so cool. I'm glad you experienced that. Like, if you listen to, so for example, I think of like, there's that one guy who's been very popular recently, John Kiriakou, the CIA guy. And you listen to his stories and you're like, wow, that sounds super interesting. For you, I don't want to do that. That sounds cool, though. Yeah, Rafael Mello saying exactly. Yep, Singapore flag right there. Yep, Siren, classic, second one of the evening already. It's been 25 minutes. I never even know. I noticed one the other day, actually. And I was like, oh, wow, a siren. It's like I'm on the stream. Sammy Marco saying now's a great time to explore your own area / country. So that's the thing. That's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do a staycation. I'm going to stay in New York, and I'm going to spend a week going to, like, museums. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to ride my bike as much as I can. I'm just going to do everything that I haven't done since moving here, and I'll make it a video. I'll do, like, Staycation, the movie, and it'll be about. I guess I'm kind of locking myself in on this now, aren't I? I wasn't 100% sure on this, and now I've started talking about it, so I'm kind of locked in on that now. But just make it. I'm still working on an overarching narrative. I kind of have like the pieces together. Yeah, Sammy Marcus saying yes, staycation. I think it could be a really, if I execute it right, I think it can be a really cool video. But I want to iron out the narrative. I know the narrative conceptually, but I need to figure out how to like convey it. Sammy Marcus saying you got to do Albany too. Nah, I would do Albany in a weekend. I want to do New York City. Like I went to a friend's event today. It was. She ran the Brooklyn Half Marathon, and then everyone went to this bar in Kips Bay to celebrate. And I went to the bar in Kips Bay. That's when I had the Diet Cokes. Because it was like, it's 1 p.m. on a Sunday. And I was like, I've never been to this area. I've lived here a year, and I've never been to this area. So I want to see more of the city. Exactly. Tourist Neuron City. Okay, Albany at some point this summer. Yeah, I want to go. I want to just this be summer of awesome, provided my ankle wants to hang out. Christopher likes saying the AI generated videos of the Pompeii volcano are fun to watch. Some YouTubers put themselves into it. What? That's a thing? I had no idea that was a thing. Nanobytes on YouTube doing a $100 challenge in Manila. The Jeepsters that are like taxis. The drivers are on strike. Oh, because they're losing money because the gas is expensive. Yeah, those are really cool. I went in one, and it was the fumes were intense. For Rostov-on-Don. This is Russia. That's helpful. Any objections to it literally saying Rostov-on-Don? Yeah, WDX saying definitely Russia. Christopher likes saying Filipino government sets the prices. They refuse to raise the price. That's wild. Yeah, I heard some interesting things speaking to Filipinos while I was over there. I was like, wow, this is interesting. The political things is what I mean. Sammy Marcus saying, yeah, biking is a great way to explore your own city. Also saying, yeah, I want to come to New York this summer. We'll see if it happens, though. Be through New York City on June 3rd on Amtrak up to Boston. Yeah, you'll physically be here, but you won't be able to do really anything. But definitely, New York in the summer's just amazing. Like, because the sun is starting to come out now. So it was my friend and I, when we left the bar earlier, we took the ferry back up to the area that we live in, and it was just stunning. We were just sitting, because it was like, we could take the bus home, but the bus took forever, so I was like, wait, the ferry's nearby. And it's just the most amazing place when the sun's out. There's German Italian on the sign? That looked like Croatian. Saying Upper Balkan. Yeah, I agree with Upper Balkan. But yeah, you definitely got to experience New York in the summer, Sammy Marco. So yeah, I'll probably not do it in 5 weeks either. I'll probably do it later in the summer so that I give my ankle as much time as possible. Because I think whatever has happened to it this week, it's set back for like a couple weeks. It feels the way it did like several weeks ago in terms of mobility. So pushed it too hard this week. Just keep going. Just keep trying to get better. Yeah, you're saying it perfectly, Sammy Marco. You feel like New York City in January is very different than New York City in the summer. Yeah. Snowing New York City was a cozy vibe, which it is. But New York City in the summer, yeah, exactly. It's just pure fun. It's such a great place. It's amazing. Christopher likes saying New York City in the summer is chaos. It's good chaos, though. It's fun chaos. Hey, that's English. It's such a an awesome chaos. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it to get warmer. And in the free time on the staycation, I can edit, which I really need to do. And I was complaining to my friend on the ferry ride back up here, because I looked at the time. It was 5 p.m. and I was like, great, another day wasted. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, every weekend I'm like, I'm going to spend X amount of hours editing, and then it just doesn't happen because I end up doing 30 other things. It's definitely Balkan, but we've seen that city before, haven't we? Yeah, San Marco. When it's under 85 degrees. Yeah, hotter than that. I don't like when it's hotter than that. Oh, no, I didn't want it bigger, I wanted it smaller. Kosis... I don't know how to say it. We've seen that before. Where is it? Donde? Different from Kosi, Slovakia. Yeah, this is not Slovakia. 100% not Slovakia. Radmanov, Venetia. I don't know. Wait, no, that's different. Yeah, I guess we just keep going. Oh. Yeah, it's terrible when it's hotter than 85 degrees, because it's like, oh, I have to go get groceries, so I'll have to shower when I get home. You know? That's when it's a nightmare. You're like, let me just do everything I have to do outside today at once, so that I only have to shower once. WDig saying, there we go. What do you mean? The sign back there that we were hoping would have a web address that says dot somewhere, and then it didn't. Oh, it said Croatia rafting. Am I that? I'm blind. I am so blind. Bro, I didn't even read the words. I was just looking for the web address. That's so funny. All right, Croatia. It's not my best moment. I'll be so real there. Me too, Rafael Mello. You're saying Croatia is a country I long so much to visit. I really want to visit Croatia. Yeah, my friend, when I called him earlier to like talk about Tanzania and, you know, save that for the supercut. No, I don't think we need to. I might delete that part. Yeah, Rafael Melo saying this is Brazil. Probably was gonna say this will be our third Brazil of the night, which is crazy. Yeah, slot is up for. It's either rent or sale. I don't know which one that means. Minas Gerais. My Portuguese is not great. Nalbane. Yeah, that's Portuguese. And our Brazilian is saying that this is Brazil. So, yeah. Yep. Minas Gerais. How's the pronunciation of that, Rafael Melo? What is going on outside? Sammy Marco saying, you, and if you didn't move to NYC, where do you think you'd live now? It's a good question. Perfectly said. Awesome. Thank you. I forgot to say my. Eu falo português tudo bem. Yeah, there we go. That's all you're getting out of me. Christopher likes saying my cat is sound asleep next to me. Posted a picture of her in the Discord. I'll check that afterwards. It's adorable. Rafa Mello and Sammy Marco laughing. I have great Portuguese, guys. Anyway, is Sammy Marco's question. I'm trying to see that web address. This is Polish, though. Yeah, .pl. Anyone object to Poland? Like, New York was very situational, though. That's the thing. I never thought I would live here. I always actively was like, no. At least the last couple of years. Like, as an early teen, I was like, New York. And as an adult, I've been like, no, absolutely not. Yeah, I don't know. I ended up here situationally, so... Poland. I don't know where I would have ended up otherwise. The friends who I live with now, a couple years ago when they moved to New York a year before I did. They were initially thinking Chicago, and I was down to do that. And then they switched to New York, and I was like, no, don't do that. Chicago's cool. Let's do Chicago. Chicago would have been one of them. I like Boston. I like DC. I like Seattle. I could live in any of those. Likely would have been East Coast, just because I'm from it's just easier to stay in the same time zone as literally everybody else that I know. Because everyone I know, I got a really good screenshot the other day on my Find My Friends. It was hilarious. I zoomed out everybody, all the people. It was just a line from Boston to DC, and then dots in the Tampa Bay area. And I was like, yeah, that tracks. Going west wouldn't really make sense. Ulika. Ooh, Ulika. That's weird. I think this is Slovenia. My reasoning is that this is... So Ulika, it's still Ulica in Czech and Slovakia, I believe. I think it's still Ulica in Croatia. Ulika, so it's somewhat related. And then this J makes me think Balkan. Yeah, W. Dick saying Slovene Croat. I think this is Slovenia. So let's keep going. Yeah, Sammy Marker saying, yeah, time zones are so weird. When I was in Memphis, it was so trippy. Because isn't Memphis... No, because Central Time starts like here. But yeah. I just wouldn't want to be, Yeah, Seattle would be cool to live in, but do I want to be the only person I know 3 time zones away from everyone else I know? No. So, East Coast was kind of the only... Like, Chicago's fine. That's 1 hour. But this side of the Mississippi is kind of where my head was at. Yeah, European plate. We knew that was going to happen. Sammy Marco saying Boston to D.C., also known as the best part of the U.S., God's country. I agree, but I feel like... Maybe this is a hot take. I feel like people in this part of the country are too quick to say that without experiencing the rest of the country. I know a lot of people from this region who then go to another part that in their head, they were like, oh, this place is terrible. And then they go there and they're like, wow, the rest of the country is amazing. I agree with this statement. I love living up here. But there are some people up here who can get a bit pretentious about it. Freezite saying, Ewan is afraid of the vast expanse west, as he should. Welcome in, Freezite. I am not afraid of the vast expanse. I love the vast expanse. I just like not having to own a car. That's cool. I like seasons. Seasons are pretty solid. I like, Manhattan's a little too dense. I like, objectively, yeah. I live in Manhattan. Is it too dense? Yes. Talking about, like, Queens, though, or Philadelphia, it's the perfect density. DC, perfect. Boston, perfect. That is the way cities should be. They don't do cities the way they used to. And I think that is what makes this part of the country great. Yeah, Sammy Marcus saying joke, obviously. I like Detroit, like Blacksburg, like Montreal, Central PA. Yeah, see, there's a lot of really cool areas that I feel like people sleep on. Exactly, Sammy Marco. Make cities great again. That would be a great shirt. Just like red, same exact font. Make cities great again. W. Dick saying these names are so Croatian. Are they? What's this? Vinnytsia. I feel like you would have a flag at the war memorial. Also wasn't... never mind. I'm not going to go into who was on what side. Oh, Sammy Marco saying my aunt dated a Croat like a decade ago. It was cool. That's fire. Some good culture there. Yeah, Croatia. Any objections there? There it is. Yeah, W. Dick saying shout out Croat, almost uncle. Christopher Lake saying it's so weird in the Florida Panhandle. Everyone's Eastern time except when you cross the Apalachicola River, which is Central time. It is bizarre. Honestly, it is a weird... I think it's weird when they cut up states, but Florida should be... Yeah. It makes sense that they did. I don't like it, but it makes sense. I feel like that's just an easy way to keep track of time zones is if you do them state by state, but when you have, that's kind of wide. So wide that the capital is in Tallahassee, because back, what was it? 1845 was statehood. So even before then, when it was like a territory and there was... Doesn't matter. Point being, the two main population centers used to be Pensacola and St. Augustine. And delegations, they would take turns being the capital, but too many people were dying getting between the two of them, so they built a new capital in the middle. Or I don't know if they built it from scratch, but they picked Tallahassee because it was in the middle. And then the third major population center was Key West, and that's just not possible to get to. And then the rest was built from the railroads, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Croatia. I could go into my Florida history, lecture, but we don't need to do that. There's a Florida history podcast. It's pretty good. Way in the weeds, but it's good if anyone is remotely interested in that, which I wouldn't expect. The host will be like, and of course, the county commissioner of Hernando County in 1963, as our listeners will know, and I'll be like, huh? Very interesting, though. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying Virginia history is so close to a lot of U.S. history. That is a very good point. Yeah, you guys have been at the center of a lot of it. Like most presidents, right? You guys have the most presidents born in your state? I was arguing with a New Yorker recently about this, and he was like, so many presidents are born here. He was like, our current president was born here, and I was like, our current president is technically Floridian, by residency, which, okay, Denmark, I'm seeing, and that tracks. I'm just busy yapping right now. Yeah, yep. And he was like, oh yeah, but most presidents have come from New York, and I was like, I'm pretty sure most have come from Virginia. Oh, there's the third siren. How do I sleep? I know it's constant. That's German. But yeah, Sammy Marcos saying, oh, Swiss cam. I didn't even catch that. Yeah, German. Mountains look right. Wait, was there a car up here? Yeah, let's look at these plates. Okay, no front plate. Let's keep going a bit. But yeah, Sammy Marcos saying the fact West Florida is one time zone away from East Oregon is insane. Yeah. It's wild. Oh, was there a Swiss flag on the house? Let's go back. Oh, too far. Where did you see that? Oh, I see it now. Yep, okay. Let's do it. Awesome. Good catch, W. Dick. Yeah, Christopher likes saying, same in Texas, everyone in Central, then you have a small sliver in Mountain Time. Yeah, it's annoying. Obviously it makes sense to do it the way it's currently done, but it's annoying. I feel like you could make that like a bit, and then that, and then you'd have to cut. Yeah, Central Time would be the same. Balkan or Eastern Europe, something like that. Need some water. Okay, Sammy Mark was saying Virginia has 8 presidents, Ohio 7, New York has 5. Yes, third. It's top 3. That's nothing. Sammy Mark was saying my newest video is a 1 out of 10. Already has 4,000 views. Absolute cinema. Dude, that's awesome. What's this video? I was thinking today, after I was complaining to my friend about how every weekend I'm like, I'm going to edit and then things happen. And like the days just escape me. I figured out when I could try to fit it in on like at least 3 days a week. There's 3 days a week where I can fit in like an hour. And that would be all I need to start making a like ton of progress. Okay. NYC video, love it. The subway line saved by the community. Okay. Love that. Check it out. W Dick saying, let's go Sammy. Freezite saying, complaining, question mark, question mark, question mark. You know, Freezite, I actually thought, yeah, there we go. Let me get my tiny violin. I was thinking during the week, I was upset about my foot during the week because it's getting worse, not better. And I said to myself, I was like, Freezite would make fun of me right now. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'll figure something out. So, I appreciate it, Freezite. I appreciate the constant reminder. Sammy Marco saying hi, Freezite. Freezite saying Sammy entering his Asmongold era. Millionaire maxing. I hope Sammy Marco's millionaire maxing. I would love that for you. Views maxing. W Dick saying Romania here. I can see Romania here. Yeah, the foamers love the New York City content for real. That's what I'm banking on once I start making New York City videos. Yeah, Freezite saying, yeah, women dislike the most, complaining, being useless. Yeah. What's going on over here on this bin? I can't read it. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying makes sense. Take it as a life tip is all. Google to hear is filtering. What? Google to hear is filtering through? Google to hear it's filtering through. What? It's not making sense. Christopher likes saying, I'm in the same boat with the work on my book. Things happen. I'm trying to redo the entire original research into 2 additional sections for easier reference. See, but in the end, you're not even going to remember that you had to go through that extra bit. You're just going to be so happy with the final product. It's really just like putting your head down, letting things happen, and eventually they work out. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying I spend too much time on weekends editing YouTube videos. Yeah, I wish I did. My problem is I genuinely, and this is the dumbest. Oh yeah, Romanian language. The dumbest complaint is that I genuinely have too many friends and too many like things happening, and I don't know how to say no. That's my problem. And that's not to say that my friends just do a lot, and it's like, we're doing this, we're doing that, and I'm like, I can't say no. Okay, we'll do Romanian. But to say it as take it as a life tip. Yep, good to feel. I can't read today. Good to hear it's filtering through. Yeah. That's don't worry, you're in my head rent-free, Freezite, as the kids say. Yes, Freezite. The friend you want to hang out with is Drew. I'm not FaceTiming him right now. He just made fun of me before the stream started. He's just going to make fun of me again. Sammy Marco saying, you and the social butterfly, is he flying too close to the sun? Yes. I need to figure out a routine that is more optimal. That's the word I've been using recently. There, Albania. I knew it. I got the vibes. Is that an Albanian flag? Yeah, these are Albanian plates. Okay, Fruzette saying we were talking earlier, making fun of you. I could see that happening, genuinely. Sheesh, Christopher, yeah, and I've spent the vast majority of the last 4 years chasing this research. Yeah, it's crazy how much time extracurriculars really do take in your life. Because it's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you actually experience, you go through your week and you're like, I have no time to take on any extra stuff. Sammy Marco asking you, and if you could move to another neighborhood in New York City right now, where would you go? I have two answers to that. Either Hell's Kitchen, which I think is what I would do, and Astoria. But I would do Astoria in a couple years. I wouldn't do Astoria now. I think Hell's Kitchen now. I was at my friend's place in Astoria last night, and it was just really nice. I liked it. It was not as dense as Manhattan. It was just, it felt like a little more like manageable. I didn't feel like I was in the middle of New York City, but I like being in New York City, so that's like a couple years. Yeah, Astoria looks cool. It was a really cool area. I liked walking through it. Okay, we got a cruise ship. AM hopping in to say, you and you, sir, are an American hero. Thank you as always, AM. Appreciate it. But yeah, Astoria is super nice, but it's just impossible to get to. Our whole group chat, we were all just complaining about how long it was taking us to get there. And it was the friend we were going to see, he texted, he's like, guys, take your time. I'm still not ready yet. And we were like, we're not taking our time intentionally. It's just everything is, it was like, I knew Mamdani was from Queens. I didn't know he's from Astoria. But it's a cool spot. But getting there from Manhattan, it was like my one friend, he took the one to the N, and it was 22 minutes waiting for the N to then get over there, and then the N runs local in Queens, and the N runs local in Queens, so it was like stop. It just took him forever, and I took it was a 17-minute wait for the F to Queensboro, and then I got on a bus, and I waited for 15 minutes in the rain for the bus, and we were all just complaining about how far he lived. Ooh, Freezite asking you, and have you been to that bougie grocery store where salad costs 1.25 burrito coin? You'll love it. Super pricey. It's in Tribeca. See, I don't know if I've ever been to Tribeca. It's my whole point. With the staycation coming up. But no, I haven't been there. You know I don't grocery shop, Freezite. Why would you think I've been to a grocery store? The laptop is dying. Where's the charger? Where did I put the charger? I was editing before this, and I edit on a different laptop. Here it is. So many wires. And to add to the wires, I got this. It's not long enough. What's it caught on? Sammy Marco said you need to live in South Astoria near the E and the F trains. Oh, what was that wire? Does not matter. I don't know where. Is that really still Astoria at that point? Okay. Gonna plug this Yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah, you're funny, Freezite. Yeah, the weekend frequencies are ridiculous. At least right now, it's insane. That's why my friend and I took the ferry today. We were just, I was looking at the train, and then I looked at the bus, but the bus was 20 minutes late, so we were like, all right, let's do the ferry. Okay, it's part of a story on Google Maps. Let me look. Like this part? I wouldn't live down here. This is basically Long Island City. I don't love it. Oh yeah, I was up in Ditmars. That's right. Like, we were at the end of the line. That's the area I like. I've taken the ferry. Last time I went up to see this friend, I took the ferry that goes to here, and then I walked up and caught a bus. That was cool. That I really enjoyed. But could I do that to get in Manhattan, like, consistently? No. No. Yeah, I know, Sammy Marcos. You're the end of the line. That's going to be harder to get to. I know. But it's just, he's such a nice place, too. I need to ask him what his rent is. Because it's kind of worth it for the place he has. Like, if he's... Oh, Larrick. I know where we are. This is Scotland. Yeah, we're on the left side of the road. I don't know why I didn't catch that. I've been to Larrick. Alright. United Kingdom. Any objections? Yep. We're in the Shetland Islands. Sammy Marco asking, how would your commute to work be? Is it on the N and W? That's the separate side of my life. My daily activities are a secret. Ooh. WDick saying yes, up the Scots. Let's go. Love it. Oh, but I guess from there, you have to take the N or the W no matter where you go. Everywhere would be via the N and W. Because that's it. That's just it's too isolating. I could do it in a few years. Not right now. Not when it's... Drew made fun of me earlier because I told him I went to a Partition of Poland themed dinner party last night, and he was like, "Who are you hanging out with?" Yeah. Ooh. Freezite sent him up to get lunch with Ewan in July if I can make the layover work out. Though he will hide from me. I don't know. I'm still owed a fist fight in JFK. So I'll see you there. Trying to think. Yeah, there's nothing pre-security. I was gonna say like meet at the Wendy's. That really isn't anything. yeah, Sammy Marco, you're having pretty much the same reaction that Drew did. Oh, here we go. This is Baltic. WDig asking how did that theme work? Well, it's yeah, WDig saying that sounds insanely cool. Okay, Latvia here. Anyone object to that? WDig, our Baltic expert. It was basically well, I don't want to get off track, so I'm gonna Christopher likes saying, did you see there's a town in Denmark that replaced the white streetlights to red streetlights? Really? How does that... Denmark red streetlights. Why? Oh, great. Denmark red streetlights. Why? Okay, reduce light pollution, less disruptive to nocturnal creatures. That's terrifying. I can't decide if I like it or not. I like the novelty of it. That's bizarre. Yeah, Freezite saying you, sir, hang out with dorks. Alright, so to defend myself, Um, the joke is, and I feel like I've explained this before. The guys in my Russian class, it's not the most normal guys taking Russian, right? We're not like we're a little out there. So one of them, he joined the class in like January, and we added him to our group chat. He's like, "Hey guys, I want to have you all over for dinner. My wife is Russian. We're gonna make some Russian food. Like, feel free to come over." We did that, and while we were there, we were like, "What if we each hosted a dinner themed to our own?" Because each of our sets of parents are from different countries. Nobody has parents from the same country. So everyone has to host a dinner where you somehow combine like Russia, like us learning Russian, and your country of background, right? So the guy with Polish parents was up this weekend. And so the theme was the partition of Poland. The theme was Russian-occupied Poland. So he had he had a map and everything. He had a menu set out that was all in Russian, and it kind of laid the setting, and we all were jokingly like the invading armies, because there were three of us who came. So one of us was Prussia, one was Austria, one was Russia. That was the joke. Sammy Marco asking, is going to people's places for dinner just a big thing in New York City? I don't know. It's just kind of how this all turned out. This is just what this turned into. And then he put so much effort into it. It was really cool. So what we have left is I have to do British Russian night, and then the only guy with American parents has to do American night. And so I think W Dick saying I'm shook, Freezite saying in Trump's voice, just a bunch of anchor babies taking jobs from hardworking Americans. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? British Russia's giving Crimean War. Interesting. So I was actually thinking doing a Queen Victoria theme. Something to do with how, Tsar Nicholas and King George were first cousins during, the World War I alliance, basically. I'm not doing the voice. I can't do the voice. Sammy Marco, yeah, the internationalness of New York City is so cool. Yeah, that's... Did I tell you I told someone last week that I was in a Russian class, and then she just started speaking Russian to me, and I was like, what? That threw me off. Freezite saying, Drew told me you dressed up like a dork. I defended you. Pescarelli Scavi. All right, well, this is Italian. Or Romanian. But likely Italian. But I was thinking doing something like that alliance themed. Okay, W Dig saying Italian here. How sure are you of that, W Dig? But I figure we've all been taking it to the next, he really took it to the next level. So I was like, how do I up the ante? And I'm going to hire, here's my thinking at least, is I'm going to hire a Vladimir Putin impersonator to just be present the entire time. Budget pending. Yeah, this is Italian. Yeah, .it. Freezite saying you're welcome. Yeah, thanks for defending me, Freezite. Okay, Scabby. Okay, ruins, because that was all over Pompeii. There we go. But yeah, Vladimir Putin impersonator to just hang out with us, and then I was gonna get a Trump one to come in later unannounced, and then they start arguing. But as I did research, I realized I can't find a Vladimir Putin impersonator in New York City, so I would have to pay a friend to do it. And it's just like, I did find a Queen Elizabeth impersonator though, so I might go with that, because that would just be even more uncomfortable. So I'm mulling around ideas right now. Ooh, Sammy Marco saying my roommate's mom is from Russia, so he has so many stories about that. About what? Oh, about like people mentioning Russian to him, and he just breaks into Russian. But this is Austria, by the way. This like is Vienna. I just need to prove that. Yeah. Vienna.at. This is Vienna. Any objections? I think I'm just going to go for it. It literally says Vienna right there. There we go. And then W Dick saying definitely Vienna. What? Why is it the Hungarian flag? This is confusing. Guys? Why is it the Hungarian flag? It's not Hungary. Like the Spanish. Sammy Marco saying his mom's so funny and blunt. Yeah, so not Hungary. That's okay, cool. Everyone else is just as confused. I needed that. Sammy Marco saying his mom's so funny and blunt. His mom's teaching him Russian every day over the phone. That's so funny. I love that. That's good. You know, keep the culture alive. Bleached Indian flag? No, because it's Spanish. This is like Ecuador. But then today, the guy with American parents, he sent out the invite for American night, and it was interesting. It was like a night of democracy, history, tradition. His mom is also very particular about who he dates, as in has to date Russians. Oh yeah, W. Diggs and throwback to the Fluminense Hungarian flags. That was so funny. We were talking. That was when W. Dig and I were at the same Fluminense game here in New York, and all the Fluminense fans had Hungarian flags because it's the same kind of color scheme. That was so fun. That was a good week to be a Hungarian flag seller in New York. So he sent out the flyer for American night, and he's like, "We're starting at the yacht club, and then we're going to Times Square Applebee's, and then we're going to this other place." And then he includes dress code at the bottom. He's like, blazer required, tie optional. And then, Sammy Marco saying, actually, she doesn't want him to date Russians because she says that Russian girls are gold diggers. Christopher like saying, isn't there a significant European expat community in Ecuador and Peru? Probably. I mean, they're cheaper countries to live in, and there's a somewhat decent standard of living. Makes sense. Rolling up at Applebee's in a blazer. Not just Applebee's, Times Square Applebee's, which I love. I've wanted to go there for the longest time. And it just never ends up happening. In my head, that's the funniest place to go in the city. For whatever reason, I've become obsessed with the idea of going to Times Square Applebee's, and I still haven't done it. In my head, it is the funniest place to get a drink. So it's Times Square Applebee's. Again, we're in suits. And then this other place afterward. And it's just the funniest flyer. But I think I might get like a little Russia flag pin. Or like Russia, United States flag pin for my suit. When we do that. Only worse spot than that is the Times Square Olive Garden. Freezite saying methinks Ewan is slowly joining a cult without realizing it. It is getting funny. It is. You keep saying this of like nobody saw this coming from Russian class. Like there were classes with people who just seemed like very much not people we would get along with, and then we're at the point where we were like, you know, we've got the Putin impersonator in my living room. Your blazer required is crazy. Well, it's so funny. Like imagine you're at the Times Square Applebee's and four guys come in blazers yelling at each other in really horrible Russian. It's so funny. Sammy Marco asking why Times Square Applebee's. I don't know. One day I walked past it and I was just like, yeah, that would go crazy. Because they have happy hour every Monday through Thursday. It's $8 cocktails. Yeah, or TGI Fridays. I don't know where there's a TGI Fridays here. Yeah, Sammy Marcusing New York moment right there. Oh, it 100% is. The whole thing. That group has spiraled out of control. The Russian group has, Freezite saying Ewan's name on several lists now. Hello, Mr. FBI. We were talking about that last night. We were all saying, like, there may or may not have been, like, military outfits involved in the partition of Poland party. And we were joking that, like, our Amazon cards would have gotten us flagged. Bolivia! It was a faded Bolivian flag. Any objections to that? But yeah, we were saying, you know, we take a Russian class. I went to school in D.C. That's a red school in D.C., foreign passport. I don't know why I'm saying this, like, recorded. School in D.C., foreign passport, studying Russian right now in New York. Like, yeah, everyone's saying Bolivia. Yeah, Bolivia makes a lot of sense now. That does make a lot of sense now. So we were all like, yeah, we're clearly on lists. Yeah, Sammy Marco, that's right. I'm a Kremlin agent. Wait. No, I don't know. So, Malaysia or Indonesia, don't know which one. Yeah, I think we would know. If I were an agent, they wouldn't let me do this. Indonesian flag. Or it's just like such a good cover. It's like a... You would think they wouldn't let me do this, so you don't think I'm an agent. And it's like, why was I in Kazakhstan? Freezite saying, let the record show that I was first at calling out the cult and or covert military connection. That would be fire. That would just be cool. Like, that'd be sick. I wouldn't do that. I am an American. So if I'm spying for anyone, it's the United States. I mean, this is a good case to make. You know, why was I in Serbia for one weekend? Why was I in Africa for one weekend? What am I doing in these weird places? You know, my mission to Tanzania got called off. That's the Nigerian follow car. My handler's actually in Kazakhstan. Yep, exactly. Don't forget the mink fur winter hats. Ooh, that's a really good one, Christopher Like. That's really good. It'll be summer though. That's the problem. See, Sammy Marco, I'm an American. Spoken like a true American pitch. I'm an American. Freezite saying you're an American till you're not. No, I'm fully 100% American. Yeah, Freezite saying Drew is the enforcer. Drew wouldn't let me spy for anyone else. Drew would, yeah, Nigeria. Nice. Even if I wanted to, he would beat me up. Sammy Marco saying, aren't you a UK citizen? Too. Yeah, but... So? Don't need to talk about that. Yeah, I saw that. I've been following that Freezite. They're also, trying to take birthright citizenship away. Sammy Marcus saying, so not 100% American. I feel like one of the beautiful things about this country is that no matter where you are from in the world, you can move here, become a citizen, and become 100% American. No matter where in the world you're from. A lot of other countries, you will always be foreign. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying, you know, I know you're joking, but I'm making a point. You know, I think that's a great thing. Freezite saying Ewan's James Bond maxing. Oh, yes. No, but it's the foreign citizenship thing is how I usually defend the people when people are like, when people make like, I don't know, CIA jokes. I'm like, well, I'm foreign, so I couldn't. I'm America-splaining. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah, Christopher likes saying yeah. People trying to take that away. Yep. Isn't that a ton of fun? I do think it's interesting that it's... Oh, here we go. So this, like, the English translations sound Japanese, but these are all Mandarin characters, so I'm not 100% confident. Come on. Let's see what's on this sign. Anyone recognize any of these places? Because it's still not Japanese characters. Yeah, W Dick saying this has to be Japan, right? That's like, it's gotta be. It's not Taiwan, and that's the only other option because it's obvious it's not China. Yeah, you know what? I'll just keep that statement. Kurioshi said like that. Like that's Japanese. That just is Japanese. Any objections to Japan? Can I reach my cough drops from here? No, I can't. Darn. My throat genuinely started tasting like blood. Like 2 days ago. Not as much right now. It's like my throat is just garbage. Oh, Okinawa. Interesting. Let's go with it. Not Okinawa. 63. We're killing it. 63 is kind of crazy for... Are we on track to... We're 33 in. What's the most we've done in a stream? Like 52? 58? We wouldn't hit 58, but 52. Yeah, Freeze saying looks tropical. This is looking Malaysian. Oh, 63. 63 is crazy. Left-hand drive. Yeah, Malaysia or Indonesia. Ambong. How do we figure this out? Yeah, I of course I say we're on a crazy tear, and then we get a Malaysia Indonesia one where we don't know which one. Nope, let's go back. I liked the highway. Terasus. AWAS. We've seen AWAS in Malaysia before. Berhenti. I don't know. I think that's Malaysia. Ow, my foot is killing me right now. I did the stationary bike the other day. Like, my physical therapist and I have it to where, you know, basically my workout routine recently has been like 45 minutes on the stationary bike and then hour and a half on weights. And that had been working perfectly. Oh, look, highway sign. That's what we need. That's, pardon me, a Malaysian highway sign. There's not really... Let's look in Java. Does Indonesia not have highways? Where's... Yeah, here it is. Okay, yep, that's a Malaysian highway sign. Any objections to that? But basically what I was saying is that was working out. And then just one day last week, just the stationary bike, I went a bit longer. Okay, stop is only in Malaysia. All right, cool. Love it. Did the stationary bike a little bit longer because I was waiting for the weights to clear out, and then just felt the RO. It was Romania. RO. This is what we get for that last round being Malaysia. Anyone object to Romania here? But ever since then, it's like each day the muscles in my foot have gotten tighter and tighter. And then I was arguing with my roommates this morning, and they were like, "Yeah, well, why can't your heel reach the ground right now?" And I was like, "No, you noticed. I'm regressing." Yeah. Let's do it. Love it. 65. Okay, here's this. Kind of feels like an airport, but it's definitely just a... Is it an airport? Yeah, it's an Audi dealership. Volkswagen dealership. It's gonna be like Spain or something. Huh? Mercy phone. What? Centro? Is this Catalan? What's happening here? Christopher likes saying Italy. Alabama. Okay, Ingresso is Italian. Okay, yep, this one looks like Italian. Yep, okay, yep, I can see it now. Is that .it over there? European Home Depot. Yep, IT. Cool. Brickleman. Alright, let's run it. Ooh. Boom. Oh. Yep, WJ said as long as it's not San Marino, a little too late. Keep your city clean. And then there's Arabic. What are these plates? I don't know the plates. They have... Oh, world's largest football. Doha... Oh, that's helpful. Nice. That was brilliant. Total chance. Let's snoop around for a second. Just to be sure. Ow, now my foot's itchy. My other foot. Ugh, okay, had to scratch that. How do we get out of here? We'll go this way. Doha Bank was crazy. That was brilliant. Yeah, W Dick saying it's sad when the Qatar World Cup is looking better logistically than ours. I don't think we're there yet. I can see a .qo over there, and I'm still scratching the foot. Ooh. Yeah, QO. Any objections to Qatar? What's this over here? Yeah. Yep, Qatar flag on truck. Also, whatever this is. Does anyone know why the Qatari and Bahraini flags look so similar? Because like, this is annoying. Do you see them in the bottom? Like, oh, Bahrain's slightly lighter. I can't tell the difference. If I just see one of them, I don't know which one it is. It's incredibly frustrating. There's a place I've walked by a couple times here in New York that has one of them, but I don't know which one it is. Yeah, Christopher likes saying the Qatari World Cup was brilliantly run. Yeah, like that's the it was different controversies. That's the thing. You think it signifies harbors? What does? What signifies harbors? What are we talking about? That signifies harbors. Andes. Oh boy. That can't be right. Oh boy. I think this is Peru. Controversy leading up to it, but I don't remember any big issues execution-wise. Oh, the red chevrons. Is that Peruvian things? Yeah, right. Yeah, Grand Wall. Ooh, sorry. I really don't know what my foot's doing right now. I'm like trying to nurse it at the moment. Lo hace Lucho. Lo hace Lucho. Lucho is the voice of Alcalde. Yeah, Christopher like saying Chile or Peru. I think there was that one incident with never mind. La Conga. Mayor. Thanks for the translation, W. Dick. Daniel Cabrera saying that South American grass. Rainbow. It is South American grass. It is Peruvian grass. It's got to be Peru. We've got... It's the bus said Andes on it. The landscape just is Peruvian. And that's my entire argument, if I'm actually honest. Everybody here seems to be voting for the same guy. Also with Peru, there's always these election signs. Peru and Bolivia both have a ton of these. Yeah, Semi Marco saying this is Peru. I'm confident enough at this point. Let's do it. Love it. Just like Trujillo, a little outside. What's this Albanian flag? Sometimes it's just that simple. And then we'll look, and that's an Albanian plate. And then we'll look at the plate that's right there. It's also an Albanian plate. I can't understand a word of this. So probably Albanian. Yeah, Albanian plate. Anyone object? To Albania. Yeah, the road is a street. What? Oh, this is also an Albanian plate. Let's do it. Love it. Second Albania tonight. We rarely get Albania. It's feeling like Spain or Italy. I don't know. We're gonna see some completely out of nowhere language. There we go. I was gonna say France, but I didn't. At least that wasn't like Lithuanian. And then we'll look at the plates. These are French plates. And then, what are the cities? I don't know any of these, but we've seen French plates. We have French. It's not Belgium. Any objections? Christopher likes saying, I've heard Albania is an easy place to live in. I've heard really good things about Albania. I think I know a couple of different people who are going to Albania this year. And then it's the family who owned one of the local bars near where I grew up. They're Albanian. And they would post pictures of their trip to Albania on their Instagram, like on the bar's Instagram, and it was just beautiful. I do really want to go there. I want to do a whole like Balkan tour at some point and not just a day and a half in Belgrade. Rory Shea saying I'm planning on going. When you planning on doing that? That'll be sick. All right, let's do France. Yeah. It's like Normandy. That's another one that's kind of near. I know it's not. Earlier we had a road that I'd literally been on, but that was a road near a road I'd been on. Fun fact. Ulica Neftyanikov. I don't know. Orangeria. Fun fact, in Russian, the color orange is orange, but the fruit isn't. The fruit is appelsine. And that is allegedly because I think it comes from like Chinese apple. Sammy Marco making a good point. Looks too new for Russia. This is the right word if it were Russian. .ru. This is pharmacy. I'm reading too fast to get it right, but okay. Rorschach saying not entirely sure yet, but definitely the latter half of the year. That's gonna be awesome. I think Albania in the fall is the perfect kind of like Baltic vibe. So if you're not going to the coast, I feel like that's the right time. But this should be Russia. We saw RU. We're gonna ignore that Turkish flag. So I feel like this is just a Turkish stand. Yeah, panorama. Yeah. Anyone object? W. Dick saying definitely feels Russia. All right, let's do it. Yep. Who's this? Like Yekaterinburg? Are we way too far over for that? Am I completely getting? Yeah, Yekaterinburg's down here. I've never heard of this place. Very interesting. Okay, now we are Spanish speaking. No a la minería. Minería, yeah. This looks like... This is... what am I thinking of? This city looks like it was part of Gran Colombia at one point. That's a Colombian plate. I meant that to say this is Colombia or Ecuador, but now we're seeing Colombian plates. Yep, yellow, yellow, yellow. This is Colombia. Anyone object? This looks just like Quito, though. It's wild. W takes deep historical lore. It's just when you're in an area on GeoGuessr, of course. If you were actually in it, you would know where you are. Ideally, when you're in an area and you're just kind of like it's here, like the place I have zoomed in on the map. You know it's there. You don't know exactly where there it is, but it's there. It's like Colombia, Ecuador. It's Gran Colombia, but I don't know where. There are, of course, times where you don't know where you are when you are physically somewhere. That does happen, unfortunately. I tried going on a run after I was concussed one time. It wasn't like immediate. It wasn't like concussion then run. It was concussion then like a week later. I went on a run. That was fine. Then I went on a run again the next day. And there was a point where I zoned back into what I was doing, and I was like, I don't know where I am. I don't remember getting here. So that was fun. That does happen. Where are we now? Kukuriak. Dual script. That's a mosque. Dual script mosque. North Macedonia. Bulgaria. I'm gonna assume... Yeah, W. Dick saying oof, Macedonia, Bulgaria. Leading Mass. I'm leading Macedonia too. Loki's kind of a fire picture. You get the minaret and the car with the bashed up hood. Goes hard. Malkoch and Tihomir. Having it in both is really helpful for the pronunciation. No, wrong thing. I'm just really quickly looking over. Ooh, Bosnia. Is Bosnia dual script? Bosnia's not dual script. Oh, yikes. Christopher likes saying there's a tornado getting ready to hit the town I was born in. Can they predict tornadoes like that? It's a very ignorant question, but... Oh. Well, that's easy. Anyone feeling like this is Bulgaria? The Bulgarian flag? Where is Bulgaria? Here it is. Did we dig saying Bulgaria send? Let's do it. Love it. Oh, wow. It's very nearly Greece. That was when my friend and I canceled Tanzania earlier. He was saying, and I was saying to him, I was like, you know, if we wanted to do something, we're basically floating around like cheap vacation ideas that don't involve walking. And he was like, he pulled up, he's like, $700, Greece, Croatia, 5-day cruise, all inclusive, $700. And I was like, does that include the ticket to Greece? It's double the price if you include that. And at that point, we might as well go to Tanzania. Yeah, Chris Flakes. Okay, watching. Oh wait. All right, we've got Spanish. I'm feeling Peru again here. Chris Flakes saying watching MX Velocity while watching this stream too. What is MX Velocity? I'm very like unsure how tornadoes work. Like I don't know what questions to ask here. W Dig saying, wait, low-key, that cruise sounds fire. It did sound fire. It did. Okay, max velocity. Is that a weather channel? Restaurant. Ooh, queso. Pachan? That was such a bizarre word. Yeah, okay. Pachan restaurant. Still feeling Peru here. We'll keep going. Okay, yes. Come on. You can keep going. Oh, what's this van doing? We see these stickers in Peru and Bolivia. How far out can you tell that a tornado is coming? I always thought they were just like last minute they happen. But yeah, we were looking at. He was pulling up a couple different cruises, and we were looking at like, oh, well, we could fly home because we've both left. It was like high school friends, and we've both left, but in different cities. And we were like, we could fly home. Stay home for like a day or two for free, and then get on a ship in the port of Tampa, go to like Mexico for 3 days. And then I was kind of like, I don't really feel like doing that. At that point, I'd just rather stay here in New York. It'll be summer, so I can go to the beach here. It feels like a lot to do that, and I feel like I'll just stress myself out by sitting on a boat for a couple days and not really doing anything. Like I'm not good at the sit still thing. So it's just like, yeah. Okay, yes you can. The track is taking it into the exact area. Oh Jesus. My grandparents are buried. So frustrating. That's horrible. I'm sorry, Christopher. Like, Semi Marco saying maybe I should go to Mexico next winter or Puerto Rico. It's definitely a good move to escape the winter. Okay, tornadoes can be tracked via radar. I did not know that. Or a place where I can use my Spanish. You gotta check with your CIA handler first. Real funny, Freezite. Yeah, there's lots of places you can use your Spanish, Semi Marco. Lots of places that are cheap where you can use your Spanish too. We just pulled up maps, like jokingly, to see what we could possibly do. And Cancun was $300 round trip. Been there, done that, though. No real need to do that again. My physical therapist was trying to tell me, like, how about instead of Tanzania, you just go to a beach somewhere like a normal person? And I was like, no, I don't feel like doing that. Peru. Oh, boy. All right, lock in. Let's go this way. Oceans to our north. Got some trees. Got some boats. And then the ocean, I guess, is also to our east. This is a small island. Yeah, Christopher likes saying, I tell people all the time I'd rather go through a hurricane and then a tornado, and I've been in the middle of both. That's terrifying. It's very... Ooh, yeah, Sammy Marco, try Miami. Miami's cool. Sammy Marco saying, I need cheap, good transit in Spanish. Somewhere my parents won't worry about too much. Panama City. Yeah, Freezite saying, here we go. Yeah, Miami isn't cheap. I was thinking about it. Yeah. I would, like, you would spend less money going elsewhere. For sure. But you definitely get the good transit doing Miami. It's good to leave the country. Good to get, the cultural experience. Christopher likes saying Madagascar. I feel like this will end up being Madagascar. Oh, yeah, hotel costs. Yeah, hotel in Miami. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh. It's probably Madagascar. And this is all we're going to get of it, too. Because we're now at the point where the ocean is... We have this small sandbar. Ocean's to the south. And now it's going to be the west. Costa Rica would be good. Guatemala. You're not going to get, like, good transit, but Guatemala's still beautiful. Where else? That's kind of like the realm of cheap kind of ends at Panama City. So you're, like, here. Mexico City would be amazing. You would love a Mexico. I love Mexico City. Maybe I go there. Oh, that would be sick. Oh, wait. Guys, staycation in Mexico. That would... Staycation, I gotta think about that. That sounds awesome. A week in Mexico City? Sammy Marco saying Mexico City is not a staycation. Rory Shea saying take Arturo with you. There we go. Arturo and I can go to Mexico City. It is a staycation in that I'm just gonna, like, hang out at it. Go to, like, cafes. Eat food. That's such a good idea. Oh, I should go to Mexico City. Okay, we're back at the beginning of the island. I think we all know where we want to go here. Is anyone against Madagascar? Oh, 9:44 too? Perfect. This thought is going to be at the top of my mind when I get off this. And I'm going to look into Mexico City flights. That would be so good. I would have so much fun. Oh, that's really the only thing that could pull me away from staycation. Oh, that would be so much fun. That's such a good idea. What? Oh. This is a great idea. I have nothing else to say right now other than that would be an amazing idea. And I wouldn't feel like I need to walk around too much because I've already seen it. I'm more just there for the vibes. Be so sick. Freezite saying, Sammy meant to ask you last week, are you allergic to corn? Freezite saying, too much can cause some issues like allergies, but it's not like go to the hospital like dairy or eggs or soy. And that's crazy. Sheesh. Arturo saying facts. It's a great place. Great place. I love Mexico City. Maybe I could catch a Mexican national team game if they ever decide to play a game in Mexico again. No more home games in Las Vegas. Freezite saying Ewan would overdose on burritos. Real ones, too. I would overdose on tacos. Oh, no, my stomach. I would have some bathroom issues. I remember leaving Mexico City to do the, I don't know, it's such a long ago video at this point, but the video where I walked around Cancun all night instead of getting a hotel, because it was a like 8 p.m. landed in Cancun and 6 a.m. flight out. That video, yeah, Arturo was saying you got to carry toilet paper with you. If anyone remembers that video, that morning I woke up in Mexico City, and that was Montezuma's Revenge, exactly, Rory Shea. That's when that hit. It was that morning, and I was like, maybe I should. And that's happening. Then my nose starts bleeding, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't wander around Mexico all night outside. Maybe I should get somewhere where I can take care of myself. And then I didn't. It was fire. It was fire. I love Mexico. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying, the Cancun video. That was a good time. All right, Madagascar. We doing it? I need one person to say yes so that if it's wrong, I can blame someone else. Okay, Christopher likes saying I'm on the fence about this. Need more confirmation. I don't think we're getting anything else, though. That's the thing. Wait, where's the sun? That's right above us. Okay, that's not helpful. It's midday. And we kind of have to do it. I need someone who isn't WDig, because WDig wants me to YOLO everything. Oh, even WDig doesn't want to do it. Sammy Walker saying I have to visit Mexico, the trifecta of North America. Exactly. You got to visit all three. What if I just do it during a World Cup game and don't go to the guys? I was gonna go to bed right after this. I got research to do. Arturo was saying I always made sure to know where I would be in like 6 hours before I ate food. That's really funny. Sammy Marco saying you and about to be up till 3 travel planning. Problem is there's just too many options. That's the annoying. Okay, we've got 2 people saying it now. Let's do it. I don't want to look. There we go. Boom. Easy. Easy. Not stressful at all. That was nothing. CH. This is Switzerland. What? No, it's not. I forget I said anything. What's going on? What are these plates? What's... I'm confused. Yeah, Christopher likes saying that's not Switzerland. I caught that. Yeah, okay, I know. Sammy Marco saying, did you say Switzerland? I know. I caught it. It was the CH thing. I was just like, oh, Switzerland. It's not. I know that. I can see that now. Right-hand drive. What's going on? So I've noticed something here, and it's not great. This shouldn't be right-hand drive. Let's see what's on here. Real estate. Okay, English and right-hand drive. So this has to be Ghana or Nigeria, but it doesn't. It's tracker coverage though, so it could honestly be so many places. Let's see. Check out this billboard. Then we're going to get close to it and it's going to be too blurry. taxi. Here we go. What does that say? Does that say Abuja? I think that maybe says Abuja. .ng. Yep. Christopher likes saying Nigeria. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. Anyone object? So I'm a little... I don't like that this is... The coverage is odd. So I'm not loving. You know what I am loving, though? The idea of going to Mexico City for a week and just chilling. Just editing my little videos. Stay at a hostel. $20 a night. Go get tacos. Get very familiar with the hostel bathroom. I think that would be a great week. Sammy Marcos saying you in Mexico, big ups. Just like chillax week in Mexico. Let my foot heal. Don't do anything too stupid. Christopher likes saying, how is there not a follow card? Dude, I don't think this is official coverage. That's why, I think. Alright, let's just do it. Awesome. Yep, it was Abuja. Oh boy. It's like Bulgaria or something. Wait. Or, okay, there we go. Spanish. Yeah. Yeah, of course I said something completely random. Valverde. Carlos. Freeze said, Mr. Ewan, there's no bathroom here. Well, I just wouldn't eat the meat here. And honestly, it's so open out here, the whole world's your bathroom. Wherever we are. Cambio norteño. Okay. What's going on? Is there even a point in reading this? It's just going to be... Yeah. No point in reading that. I'm curious. Could... Where's the sun? Directly above us again. I have two theories here. I think this is Mexico. I'm just not confident. Guys, I'm seriously... Yeah. Rio Chinyama? Yeah, see, Rory Shea saying it's fate. It's a sign. Like, think about it. That's like my... It's like my struggling artist era. You know, I just hang out in coffee shops in Mexico City for a week and edit videos and get them all done. Go to like hostel events. Hang out. That would be so fun. There was one time I spent a week in Buenos Aires just goofing off. And just like in the hostel. I don't even know what I did during the day. I was just hanging out with these Chileans from my hostel room. And we would play pool in the hostel. It was the longest I've stayed in. It's the longest I've stayed in one place, like in a hostel. I knew everybody in it by the end of it. Like every day at like 5 p.m. we'd go play pool. At one point, one of the other people in the hostel came up to my friend and I, and she was like, "Do you guys come to Argentina just to play pool? Like this, you guys just vibe for a week in Mexico." I think that might be the move. I think that could be so fun. Yeah, W Dick saying if this is Mexico, you kind of have to go. Sammy Marcos saying my one hostel experience is pretty mid at best in Iceland. Oh, there's horrible hostel experiences. There's like terrible ones. And then there's great ones. My 2 great hostel experiences were both in Buenos Aires at 2 different hostels. Phoenix hopping in saying, hey, I know I'm late. I'm thinking maybe Peru. Thoughts? I see what you're thinking, but my thoughts are like this kind of tree, and Freezite can elaborate more on if this tree is maybe in Peru. But this tree seems more Caribbean to me, and then the white sand also says Mexico to me. Sammy Marcos saying moral hostels in BA are goated. They are. I could send some recommendations if you're ever down there. 2 really good ones. The second one wasn't as good of a hostel, but the experience, like the people I met there were great. It's like that experience was made because of the people, not necessarily the hostel. But the other one, that hostel was so great. They had the best cocktail I've ever had, and when I went back, that's what I wanted. But they were like, oh, apparently it was just a substitution cocktail. Like they didn't have the same. They were out of ingredients, so they subbed something in, but nobody remembered what they subbed in, so it's lost to the sands of time, which sucks. Oh, here we go. That looks like the Bolivian coat of arms. Ministry of Agriculture and something else. Parque Principal. Huh. Christopher like asking, could this be rural Argentina? I don't think so, just based on this coat of arms here. I see what you're saying. Palo Blanco. Yeah, exactly, Sammy Marco. It just depends on who the guests are at the time. 100%. The other people at your hostel can make or break your experience. It's a total luck of the draw. Sammy Marco saying after I graduate I might do a working holiday, so I might work at a hostel for a bit. That'd be sick. I've heard fun things about working in hostels. I remember one time I went up to the bar in one of the Argentine hostels that I mentioned, and I ordered in Spanish, and the guy was like, I don't speak Spanish. I was like, bro. It's like, we're in... Okay. The currency is S, which is a sole. This is Peru. That's a Peruvian sole. So I think you got it, Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix saying the tuk-tuks I think you can only find in Peru, and those poles are Peruvian, maybe close to the Bolivian border. Yeah, I think you got it. Anyone object? That's not Mexico, so I don't have to go to Mexico now. Darn. I'm still, first thing I do as soon as we're done in like 30 seconds is going to be looking at flight prices to Mexico. Maybe I won't align it with will I align it with a World Cup game? No, because then things would be more expensive. But also, I live in a host city. I don't need to experience a host city during the world. I live in a host city. I don't know why that keeps slipping my mind. All right, it's 10 o'clock, and we believe it's Peru. There we go. Awesome. All right, we end at 77. So next week we start off in what looks like the southern United States. Honestly, hold up. Where's that sign? We're going into overtime real quick. I know exactly where this is. This is Florida. The Withlacoochee River is in Florida. Yeah, Sammy Marcos saying Alabama send. It's not Alabama. Yep. One time, Drew and I found out that like the third highest point in Florida is somewhere here, so we drove 2.5 hours out there one time, and it's just like an incline. It's not even a hill. It's an incline. It took us 5 seconds to drive to the top of it, and we were like, whoa, and then 2.5 hour drive back. So stupid. Rory Shea asking, where's the Mexico-Japan game? I have no idea. But with that, we love our overtime. Oh, the Richlome Wildlife Management Area. This was... Oh, I biked literally right here. Hold on. We're really in overtime now. Yeah, I biked like literally right there in the biking across Florida video. Right here in this shoulder. No, wait, we're going the wrong way. So I biked in this shoulder. Yep, right here. All right, so with that, everybody have a wonderful week. Good job this week. And hopefully we will be back at it even better next Sunday. In the meantime, you all enjoy yourselves, and I will see you right back here at 8 p.m. Eastern.